Last year was our first year seriously hatching our own chickens. We just loved it. We just enjoyed raising chickens in a way that we have never before. So, especially with the whole avian flu thing starting to go around, I'm very thankful we have the biosecurity of just hatching within our own flock. We don't have to bring any new chickens. We don't have to do anything like that. We just have a closed flock biosecurity. Let's start by showing you our flock and different breeds. So that's a barred rock, and that's an Americana, the only one we have. Let's see, what am I pointing at here? That white one is a Chanticleer. That's colorful one's a home hatched one. That's a Rhode Island red rooster. That's a Bielfelder hen and rooster. They're so pretty. That's a light Sussex. That's a black Australorp. We love to throw scratch for the chickens. Oh, and there's photographer mom. That's my mom. She's always taking lovely photos of the kids. So then here, that is Rhode Island red that it's not wanting to focus on. And that's another Rhode Island red. That's, goodness, this is not behaving here. At my feet is Mistral Grise and home hatched ones. I just love that big white rooster that's a Chanticleer. He makes me so happy.
There's more of them? Is there any sound?
No, there's no sound.
I guess that's too dirty.
No, it's not about dirty. It's about porous. For collecting hatching eggs, we will only save eggs that are warmer than fridge temperature, like when we collect them from the coop. If they're really cold, we won't save them for hatching. We put them in cartons, we flip them twice a day, and we put them in the incubator within a week to make sure they're nice and fresh. So what we did was we kept back a few Mistral Grise, which is like a barred rock based meat bird, rooster, a couple roosters, a few hens. We had our existing flock that was mostly Rhode Island red crosses with a few barred rocks, a few light Sussex, a few Columbia rock. Then last year we got eggs from what are they called? Ruffled Feathers. They're out of Burns Lake, which is a couple hours from us, and they raise fancy chickens. So we bought some fancy eggs. Not fancy, well, they raise really nice chickens. So we picked from the breeds they had, heavyweight breeds. We picked Australorp, Bielfelder, and Chanticleer. There was also this other one that was like a cross they had done, but I wasn't super impressed with it, so I don't think we kept any of those. So we have those 3 breeds. Plus we had our own homegrown cross of flocks. Like we only had big roosters. We got rid of our smaller roosters. We only kept in the fall. We like when they were 12 to 16 weeks old. So not in the fall. Starting when they were 12 to 16 weeks old, we would sort out any roosters. We picked like 1 or 2 nice roosters from each of the breeds. Nice hefty roosters. A couple of our homegrown crossbred ones that were really nice and hefty.
And after it's gonna be, and I what kind the eggs will be, the chicks will be the turquoise eggs. Like you didn't even grab on what you did.
We've tried in the past with not great success with those cheap styrofoam, or not even that cheap, but styrofoam incubators. And we never had great hatch rates and we never had great success because our house isn't a steady temperature and it's often on the lower side. Those styrofoam ones have a really hard time. So this Brinzy 56EX is fully automatic, the hygrometer, everything. When I had a problem last year, I was able to call and just talk to a person who helped me through it. Just so happy. Our first hatch or 2 of the year, our fertility wasn't as good, so we were about 50% hatching. And then once our fertility was better, we were into like 75, 80+% of eggs hatching, which is really good. Because a lot of people, what I learned is they'll be like, oh, I had a 90% hatch rate. Okay, at the point where they candled their eggs to see how many were still viable, they took out all the bad ones, and out of those ones, the ones that hatched is what they considered their hatch rate. I figure like if I put, I don't even know how many eggs I put in. I think it fits 56, but it doesn't always actually fit 56 if your eggs are big. If I put 56 eggs in, that is the number I'm going off of. So if I have 28 chicks, that's a 50% hatch rate in my mind. So we never had lower than 50%, and it worked out really well.
So I was like, I didn't grab an egg. How's there another egg?
And then the hens, we sorted through, we'd pick up the hen and be like, okay, you feel nice and hefty. Put a leg band on, put them in a pen, and we're keeping those. The ones that felt lighter weight, like you can feel when you pick up a chicken. Do they have anything on their breast? Do they feel like a heavy chicken? And these were all the same age. It would be all from the same hatch we'd be sorting through. So the ones that were lighter weight, we put a different color leg band on, and we put them in a different chicken tractor, and we sold those ones as laying hens to other people. They were still good laying hens. We just had a goal in mind where we wanted only heavyweight breeds. So we went into winter with this. We lost a couple older chickens over winter, but we didn't lose any of our younger ones, our heavyweight ones, and we have a cold winter and they have access to outside at all times. Not that chickens always want to go outside. Anyhow, so this is year 2, starting with only our good heavyweights. We do have a few Rhode Island Reds still crossing there, but that's okay. We're getting a decent number of eggs. We didn't have a light on. We had a light on until maybe like November. Then we haven't had a light on. So what they're laying right now, we're only just at equal 12 hours daylight, 12 hours night. So they're still not even at their optimal 14 hours of daylight.
Can you hear their heart? Go put them in the fridge downstairs?
No, they have to be washed.
Okay. What are we going to get first?
So the Brinzy is pretty easy to use. We can just click through, okay, so the temperature, we then press okay. Yep, that's what we want. Press okay again. Relative humidity. Actually I need that lower. Turning mode is on. Turning interval, so sorry. 40 minutes is good. Alarm for if it's too high or too low. We don't have the cooling setting on. I don't use that. And we save and we're good. Anyhow, so this is our first hatch. It is March 25th. So 3 weeks from now, these are gonna hatch. And I can't wait to see how this year's chickens grow. We have just loved raising these because they just like Cornish crosses, even when raised in a chicken tractor, even when moved daily, even when doing all these things, we've never really enjoyed raising them. They just are a really demoralizing bird. And we finally decided we just couldn't do it anymore. We had a couple bad years from the hatchery and we just couldn't do it. The ones we've done, we get good weights, they taste delicious, they take a little more time, but they don't waste any feed, and they actually eat less food a day. So really, I think if we were to check the financials on it, it would be really similar. We didn't have troubles plucking them as long as we did them before 16 weeks.